And personally, if I wanted to find an exec's credentials, I wouldn't try to hack the corporate Wi-Fi network. I'd go and sit in their favourite cafe or outside their home, and I'd hijack the Wi-Fi when their phone tried to automatically reconnect to their stored Wi-Fi network. And I'll talk about this a bit more in a minute. So when we talk about your Wi-Fi not being secure, we're not talking about WPA2 or WPA3 enterprise. They're providing reasonable security on your enterprise APs if they're properly configured within the traditional corporate perimeter. But it's not just the APs, it's the devices, it's your staff, and it's the physical environment which are the weakness. We're talking about devices like mobile phones, tablets and laptops, which are used by staff in the office, working from home, wherever they are. And IoT devices like Chromecast or Apple TV, smart fridges, TVs, vacuums, barbecues, microwaves, temperature and light sensors, security cameras, so many. These devices are everywhere. Many of them use Wi-Fi to communicate with the internet, and they are vulnerable. The most obvious vulnerability is the man in the middle or the person in the middle or evil twin attack that I spoke about before. These all work in a similar way by hijacking the device. An authorised Wi-Fi network is mimicked by the attacker, and the device automatically connects to it without anyone knowing. It doesn't have to be the corporate network they mimic, and it doesn't have to be a network nearby. IoT devices like phones and laptops are constantly searching for all the Wi-Fi networks they've used and stored, so they can automatically connect when they're in range. They're sending out probe requests every couple of seconds in some cases, looking for all the networks that have nothing to do with the enterprise Wi-Fi network. All the hijacker has to do is spin up an AP with the same credentials, boost the signal strength, and any unconnected devices will automatically connect to the evil twin without the user knowing. And there are a couple of ways they can work out which network to mimic. They can just take an educated guess. At some stage, someone in range will have used Starbucks or McDonald's or Sydney Airport or Canberra Free Wi-Fi. Or they can get fancy and they can use a Wi-Fi pineapple to see exactly what networks the devices are probing for. And if the devices are already connected to a network, they can kick them off using a de-authentication or de-auth attack with a device you can buy off the net for around $10. Once they've hijacked the device, they can create a fake website to harvest the credentials. For example, in one case we know of, a network support person took a support call in the local cafe. And later that day, the organisation's AWS account was accessed and multiple servers were spun up for crypto mining. This cost them thousands of dollars. In another example, a man was jailed in Victoria for insider trading. He sat in his car outside the offices of a stockbroker and he used AirCrack, which is a suite of Wi-Fi sniffing, analysis and cracking tools to harvest credentials. Then he logged into their corporate network using the stolen credentials, read their stock buy newsletters before they were published and bought the stocks and then sold them for a profit. And in another case, a Defence Overseas base had an issue with evil twins hijacking Wi-Fi, and experts had to be flown in from Australia to investigate the issue once the damage was done.